Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is the first of 2 videos for today.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Oh, it's coming in nicely. Might have to trim it a little bit though.
Hey man, ready for the week?
Oh yeah, my beard's getting pretty long though. Didn't have any time to cut it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Just didn't have time this morning. What's all that stuff?
Oh, I brought my shaving kit.
That's how you normally do it, huh?
Yeah.
Seems like it's taking a long time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep the beard, you know, it's coming in nice and thick.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot of stuff to be carrying around with you to shave on the go.
Yeah, it's a hassle.
You could get a Manscaped Handyman. It's a compact shaver. Fits great in a gym bag, glove box. It's fantastic.
Ooh, that's nice.
And you can get around your nice full
It's beard.
beard.
Yeah, it's a beard.
Nice full beard. Yeah, you should look into it.
The handyman seems pretty convenient. Oh no, my beard!
Guys, it's time to power up your grooming routine with the all-new Handyman Compact Face Shaver from Manscaped. And get 20% off and free shipping when you use code AngryJoeShow. Click those links down below. Guys, I know that sometimes you don't have the time to shave, because sometimes I don't have the time to shave, and this thing is absolutely perfect. You keep it in your glove box, it charges by a USB. It's pretty great. So check out those links down below. And there's a ton of great Manscaped stuff on there, too.
Yeah, and AJS News, over the weekend, I decided to throw out my Starfield review, rewrite it, and refilm it. So I wasn't quite happy with it, but I am happy with it now. So I'm still editing it. It will come out this week. Thank you for your patience, guys, but I think it's better for it. So stay tuned for that. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Thursday, maybe at the latest. So stay tuned for that. And Alex, what the heck has been going on in gaming?
Arcane has not given up on Redfall. Remember, one of the games is one of the games to
At
come
least
out
someone
this year.
hasn't.
Yeah, and so we got a big update. Look, I get that they're trying, and they're here in Austin, but that game is
Yeah, it's commendable
terrible.
they're doing that, but I honestly do not see that game turning around to be like, oh, this game has gotten way better. It's like even the bones were like bad.
The bones are bad. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
I'm not even sure it was commendable because this is just
Well,
what
they're
you're supposed
trying,
to do. Fix
but-
it.
Yeah.
Fix it and make it better, and then people might come back. But I think I saw the concurrent players at 3 at some point.
Yeah, this week.
Why?
The game now has 60
What are you
frames.
doing? What are you doing?
Not even enough to fill a single game. This is a 4-player, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Look, that's just for Steam. Look, people are probably playing for Game Pass, playing on Game Pass because Game Pass is free. And
Right,
I wouldn't
and on
pay.
There's a
console.
lot better games right
I
now.
know,
Why
I
would
would-
you even go to that?
Play Lies P. It's free on Game Pass as well. But they added open world enemy population density. They added enemy encounters. There's stealth takedowns.
Enemy encounters, Joe.
They want enemy encounter before?
Stealth, no. Stealth takedowns.
And now there's more frames per second than players.
sorry.
Oh, they upgraded the frames per second to
Yeah,
what?
more than the number of players, so you
Yeah.
probably get up to 60. And I just looked at there's less than 40 people playing on Steam, probably some people playing on Xbox, but
Cut your losses,
that's
move on to a
bad
different game.
That gonna be on one of the lists
Yeah,
for the end of the year.
we don't know about the specific numbers on Xbox, but I looked everywhere, and there's a list that Xbox puts out. Xbox 50 most played games. It's not on that list.
It's not on the list.
It's not on that list.
It's Lies P.
So it's not doing hot.
Well, I figured as much, even with the fixes.
Yeah. So let's talk about some more great games from this year. Lord of the Rings Gollum. There was an
Oh my
apology
God.
that was written earlier in the year,
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
it turns out that Dalig didn't write it. Someone over at Nacon used ChatGPT. It's like,
Nice.
apologize for a garbage game.
Yeah, because he didn't want
Well,
he
they
didn't want to
wrote-
fuck it up. I know plenty of people who at work use ChatGPT for many formal letters to each other. So that don't bother me. Somebody just didn't want to fuck it up, right?
No apology comes off more sincere than when you have an AI write it for you. It's just like,
Well, we already didn't. I mean, nobody was like,
Yeah.
Wow, this is so sad. But you know what? The apology I'm still waiting for. I'm waiting for a Chat GPT apology from Arcane. Remember how they didn't have an apology? We were at least Golem apologized, and they're no longer going to handle the license. But
It's
Redfall never apologized.
Yeah, and it's too late for an apology. You get what you deserve.
Well, they're still working on it, so
Yeah, great. We also got some information. It turns out the Golem's budget was only 15 million euros, which is significantly less than what you'd expect for a Lord of the Rings game and a AAA-ish kind of game. Now,
I think you can kind of tell.
you
Just a little
can
bit.
kind of tell, and so
Just a little bit.
this will explain how the game looked like shit. The hair was crazy.
The bugs.
The performance, everything was bad. That's where the 15 million makes sense. What doesn't make sense to me is writing doesn't cost you that much money.
They used
comparatively.
the Chat GPT.
Oh, they used ChatGPT to write the game
Yes,
too.
they did.
Well, that explains everything.
Okay.
Okay. So.
I think that's what it was,
I
right?
was trying to give Daedalus some out because they've made some great games, and they're not making games anymore. But man, you really fucked up, even in the writing, and that's not where your budget went. So.
No.
Yeah.
That was bad all around.
All right. Well, 5 former Ubisoft executives have been arrested. We've been talking about Ubisoft getting away, and there's like the fraternity of dude bros over there pinching butts and slapping ass. It's not quite what we saw at Activision or Riot. People farting in each other's face, but employees have been like, "Hey, it's pretty bad here," and then it's
We didn't think they'd get any trouble or anything.
But yeah, so now 5 former executives, including the former chief creative officer, ex-VPs, all being arrested. And
wow.
then there's allegations of widespread abuse, harassment, and discrimination within Ubisoft. Women just not being promoted and only getting promoted if they don't report that their butts are getting pinched or whatever is going on there. So it's good to see that something's happening.
Yes.
Especially
high up.
3 years a little
It's
late.
a long time coming.
Yeah, but until the 3 brothers who own the majority of Ubisoft, what are they going to get? A slap on the wrist? They're going to do the thing that
I don't know.
that Bobby Kotick does and be like,
Bobby.
It wasn't me. I didn't do any of the things. It's like, yeah, but you kept protecting these
Yes.
people.
It's like you knew about it, did nothing. You're
Yeah.
just as guilty.
But they own the company, and so there's not much. Until Tencent buys the rest of them, or Saudi Arabia decides to buy even more of them, I think those brothers are going to be there to stay.
Okay.
Now we got like 1 million stories on Cyberpunk. So,
Okay.
Cyberpunk 2077 has moved 25 million copies. The Phantom Liberty DLC has sold 3 million copies since its September 25th launch. So, doing very, very well. People are really excited about the 2.0 patch. It fixed a lot of bugs, performance things. People are generally
Going back
happy,
to it, yeah.
happy with it. And then they've reported, CD Projekt Red has reported that they've spent over $120 million to quote unquote save Cyberpunk 2077, saying it's going back toward their reputation. Now this is a very PR friendly headline for CD Projekt Red, where it's like, oh, they did it to restore the reputation. It's like, well, they got to sell you video games. They did it because they wanted to sell you millions of copies of their DLC, and then they want you to buy the sequel. They want you to continue buying the game because CD Projekt Red made Witcher 3 and then banked money on it for 10 years. They want to do the same thing with all of their future games. So, you give them some credit for going back and fixing it, but they did it for money. They didn't to make you happy. They're a $1 billion company for a reason. They're there to make money.
It's about profit. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not all good news. There's been lots of layoffs over at CD Projekt Red, and some of the employees are even starting a union because this is the 3rd round of layoffs that we've seen.
Okay. They're starting a Polish game union. That's good. Yeah. The video game industry, these are talented people, and I'm kind of sick and tired of them getting, kicked to the curb. It's a vicious cycle in that industry.
Next,
It's
cheaper.
It's tough. So these are talented people, and it's going to work better. The happier those developers are, the better games I think we're going to get. So yeah, that's good. Good news.
Yeah, usually in the fall time, like you're hearing lots of little headlines of layoffs at this company, layoffs at this company. It's because the development cycle for a lot of these games, or the QA cycle for all these games, is over. The games are, some of them are going gold, or they're beyond that point, and so there's a lot of temporary employees within the gaming industry because these game companies just don't keep dedicated QA staff. They don't, and so
I feel like my raise is coming up. It's like, all right, you're fired. Bring in the next batch. Bring in the next batch.
Yeah.
So that's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not even a secret over at Blizzard. They just like, hey, you want to work for Blizzard? Cool. You're going to make 80% what you would make anywhere else, but you are passionate about our games, so fuck you.
Right, and at this point, people aren't even passionate about their games, so I don't know if they can ride on that much longer.
So
they're going to actually have to pay people. Or we can form a union for video game workers over here in the U.S.
Change.
Yeah. And so the last bit of Cyberpunk news is a Cyberpunk 2077 live-action project is on the way. It's a TV show being developed by the production company behind True Detective in close collaboration with the creative team. So,
have not seen it, but I heard good things about True Detective.
Yeah.
Really liked it.
It's definitely good stuff. And so it's like talented people. It's an interesting world. It's an expensive show, I imagine, that it's going to cost a whole lot of money. But maybe I'd give it a watch. I don't know.
I would definitely. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? That shit is amazing. Like if they get it right, obviously there's been examples of getting it wrong and getting
Witcher
it right.
Season 3.
But do you know the production company behind this?
Yeah, the True Detective.
Yeah, that seems like serious people in charge that are adults and that take stuff seriously. So hopefully they're going to take the world seriously. It's going to be mature and it's going to be gritty, and that's what it's needed.
You think they'll make mature or not try to get everyone involved? So
what do you mean everyone? Oh, you
like,
try to
dumb it down,
like PG kind
True
of.
Detective really, didn't try to dumb down their storylines for mass audiences. So I want to lean towards their pedigree, and that's what we have to work off of. I'm excited, so as long as they're given a sufficient budget, because obviously to do a Cyberpunk world, you're going to need quite a big budget. But if they can crank out Star Wars Disney shows and make them look good, they should be able to do the Cyberpunk world just fine. So this is great news. I'm excited as the Angry Joe Show for us to add that to our streaming reviews, and I hope it's good. We need some more wins over here in the video game licensed world.
Do you think it's going to go on Netflix?
Yeah, where do I think it's going to go?
I think so, because they have the Cyberpunk.
The streaming wars, right? And that's a good point, Joe. They know how popular their Cyberpunk anime was. I have no doubt that Netflix is going to at least be bidding on the rights. They may lose to some other streaming service because the streaming services are hot right now. Peacock is trying their best. They got the Continental. I've been seeing advertisements for the John Wick without John Wick. Twisted Metal, which is one of the worst, most boring shows.
You're wrong, Joe.
That was awful. No, you're wrong, Joe. You're wrong because your opinion was the same as mine, and Alex was probably even harder on it. So we are all wrong. Sure. But no, we were right. That fucking season of Twisted Metal had a few fun bits, but it sucked, and everybody collectively was like, "This is the funniest show ever," and they did excellent. And I was like, I don't agree. But maybe season 2.
Some people are entertained by jingling keys, and that's it. And it's like, I consume product.
Yes.
So as long.
Consume.
Yeah. People are so fucking critical of Ahsoka and Disney Star Wars, but they're
when it comes to that,
Twisted Metal. This is fucking great. All right.
Yeah. So apparently, when this comes out, we're gonna be watching it as long as
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
I do share some of your fears, OJ. I worry that it's gonna get picked up by someone who's not gonna let them be gritty and go like, "Hey, it's it's gonna look fantastic because there's talented people on the production side," but they're like, "You're gonna have to tone everything down because."
You talk about writers.
Yeah, well, but for the audience, if Netflix is like, I want this to be
for, like
not
teens
rated R.
and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is like the style of thing is everything is so over sexualized, over violent, over everything, and so it's like it'd be very difficult for them to get away with it if it's on, it's not gonna be a Disney Plus, but that kind of thing. All right, you had some other ones that you want to talk about, right?
Yeah, other news stories. So did you know, Joe, there's a company that will actually build you a 15-foot tall mech. So, like,
That'd be
my
fucking
dream
amazing.
is just, like, you can, a company building people robots and mech suits. It'd just, for the small fee of $3 million. If you have $3 million just laying around, you too can own
Okay,
one
so
of these
you're gonna go
badass
completely broke.
mechs.
You're gonna get this suit. What are you gonna do?
Well, you can
obviously you're gonna
relive
live
your
there.
childhood moments of Mobile Suit Gundam. And they've got one model called the R-Chax. We can put a video over here. 15-foot tall. Cockpit features monitors that display live video from external cameras. Pilots can control the arms, hands in robot mode with a pair of joysticks. And the mech looks more like Armored Core though than it does, like Gundam. I want Gundam, but this you can get. It's a little easier to go Armored Core because it's got tank light stuff. But yeah. It is a 3.5-ton mech that transforms into a vehicle mode and can move at speeds of up to 6 miles an hour.
Look, I can move 6 miles an hour, and for the price of $1 million, I will put you on my shoulders. You will be approximately that height, and then standing behind, OJ will be in a backpack, and he will make the robot
There
noises.
you go.
And
So
that's not good enough, says the CEO of Subame over there in Japan. This is Japan. We wanted to create something that says this is Japan.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to make appearances at kids' parties, quinceañeras right now, because you're gonna have to make your money back.
At the bar mitzvahs.
Is this thing plugged in all the time?
Costume.
It's got a battery that runs
parties.
for 7 minutes, and then it just...
But can you put a price on dreams?
Yes,
No.
yes, you can. Yes, you
Can't
can.
put a price on your dreams.
Yes,
it's like,
if
you have
it's
$3
me
million?
filing for
$3 million.
bankrupt and having no food and just in the mech, it's like,
Ramen,
oh
Joe.
God, I'm so starving.
Ramen,
Never
10
working
cents
again.
a piece.
Having all of the food, video games, and everything that you want to retire,
10
or a
cents.
mech that runs for 6 minutes before it breaks. It's like,
It goes 6 miles an hour. Be like, all right, well, I'll be there in 2 days.
And when there's a malfunction, it's...
So yeah, I sold my car. Can't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
6 miles an hour.
It's like Iron Man
Excellent.
2. It's going to just twist the person inside in half. So
There you go. All right, well, that's a good story to end on. But we got many more in our second episode, so stay tuned for the second half of the news, and we will be seeing you guys on the next Angry Joe show. And thank you to our sponsors, Manscaped.
That's the Handyman.
Click
Check
the
it out.
links down below. Bye, guys.